Hi everyone, this is a review of the brand new DD brand wax melt scents from Hobby Lobby. These just came out a couple of days ago and they are fantastic. DD brand wax melts at Hobby Lobby. Nobody really talks about them. They're not really that popular, I guess, but they've really upped their game in the past maybe year or two, and their scents are very creative, just totally different blends from what you would find in other stores like Walmart. I mean, I still love my Sensationals and Better Homes and Gardens, but these are just very unique, and for the most part, they throw quite well. So I really do recommend these. So I did notice that some of these in this collection, the scent didn't really last long, maybe only 2 or 3 hours each. I didn't really make a note of which ones did that because I get tired of the same scent after a couple of hours, so it really doesn't matter to me. And also right now, Hobby Lobby is having a 50% off sale. So I bought these last week at full price because once the sale hits, everything sells out. They're not like Walmart. Walmart stocks like probably 2 dozen of each scent. Well, Hobby Lobby might stock maybe 4 or 5 of each scent, and then they don't restock for a couple of weeks. So once they sell out of a scent, it's going to be a while until it comes back, if it does. So I figured, I'd buy it at full price, and they say that you have 10 days to bring the receipt back, and they will honor the 50% off sale, which I'm actually going to do today. I'm going to, bring the receipt back and take advantage of that 50% off sale. So I'll basically get some of the money back, which is a really good deal. $2.99 is actually not bad for these scents at all, but $1.50 is better. So I will start with, I'm going to try to run through these quickly because there's a lot of scents to go through and I've got to get back to work. So elegant, and when just a couple of things, usually before I review a scent, I try not to look at the scent notes because I don't want my nose to be swayed by what I think it should smell like. And also, sometimes I'll put the melted cube back into the container, especially if I haven't melted it for that long and there's a lot of life left in it. I'll put it back and I'll be able to melt it again. I actually really kind of rushed through these reviews through melting these because there were so many of them and I just really wanted to get this review up. So that's why there's still a lot of scent left back in these melted cubes. So, Elegant Pearl. The notes are opulent, florals, and spice. This smells like mulled apple cider. Not mold, mulled, M-U-L-L-E-D. Apple cider with a hint of a sour brown leaves note and perhaps even a smidgen of pine. There's also a hint of a sweet perfumey note in the background that tempers some of the sourness. Although it's not a very sweet scent, it's an odd combination, but I kind of like it. And the throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. Firewood and saffron. Notes are sweet florals and leather. This smells like raw wood, oud, which is a dark resinous tree sappy woodsy scent, and bergamot, which gives a little bit of a cologne note, although it's not actually a cologne scent. It might be a little bit of a cologne scent. There's also maybe a hint of smokiness in the background, and there might also be some patchouli, and possibly a smidgen of leather. And it's slightly sweeter than these types of woodsy patchouli scents that I usually smell. There might be also a floral way in the background. Looking at the notes, I'm surprised I don't see patchouli. I love this scent. When it's melted, there's also an odd note in there that makes it smell a little bit like old perfume, but not enough to be a deal breaker. And the throw is medium, 3.5 out of 5, which is okay. It would do well in a medium-sized room, so I don't mind one bit. Floral blossoms. The notes are grapefruit, orange flower, and musk. And this is a beautiful scent that smells like orange blossom, neroli, which is one of my favorite scents, jasmine, and a little bit of musk that gives it a perfumey note. Looking at the notes, I don't smell grapefruit at all, although there is a hint of another note that I can't put my finger on that tempers the sweetness of the floral a tiny bit. Throw is medium, 3.5 out of 5. Next is Italian bergamot and cashmere. It's a weird, ugly color. The notes are sweet citrus and Earl Grey tea. Because of the bergamot, I expected this to be just a cologne scent, and it is, but there's also a strong patchouli note. I also smell rich amber, a hint of vanilla, and possibly a smidgen of tobacco. It's a fantastic scent. Looking at the notes, I don't smell citrus or tea at all, and the throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. I should also note that a lot of these scents tend to have a lot of the same notes, like the amber and the cashmere and bergamot and smoky cologne type patchouli, but they all, some of them smell similar, but they really are all different from each other. So if you like those types of scents, you will love these. So oud and amber, the notes are vanilla bean and cedar. Now if the scent name is oud and amber, I don't know why the notes are vanilla bean and cedar. They should be oud and amber. This smells like a richer, more full-bodied, intense, slightly smoky and cologne sensationals vanilla woods. The woodsy note is definitely oud, which is a deep resinous tree, sappy wood scent that sounds awful, but it smells great, especially mixed with other notes. I also smell a little bit of patchouli, bergamot, which gives us a cologne note, and possibly amber, which gives it a rich warmth. I don't smell vanilla, but I do detect a bit of cedar. It's a fantastic scent. The throw is medium, 3 out of 5. Again, I don't mind so much because it smells so good and it will work in a medium-sized room. Or it might actually throw even better for you, or worse. There's a lot of variables that determine throw. Next is peony and yuzu. And, did I show you this one? Yeah, peony and yuzu. The notes are fresh blooms and tangerine. On cold sniff, this smells like grapefruit, a bit of tropical fruit, and maybe a hint of sweet floral. There may also be a smidgen of lemon and light wood way in the background. Possibly a barely detectable hint of bergamot that gives us an ever so slightly cologne note. But melted, it just smells like grapefruit and a light wood note. And there's no floral notes really. Actually, it's kind of bitter, not really sweet. To me, it smells a little bit like Victoria's Secret love spell dupes, like Sensational's Magic Spell, Scentsy Lucky in Love, and Tuscany Stressless, but with slightly different notes. Looking at the notes, if the scent name is peony and yuzu, I don't know why the notes are different from the scent, fresh blooms and tangerine. I don't smell tangerine or orange, but yuzu is a citrus scent that smells like a mix of bergamot, kumquat, bitter grapefruit, and lime. So there's the bergamot, grapefruit, and lemon notes that I detect on cold sniff. This scent is just okay to me. It's just not my favorite. But since it's similar to love spell dupes, I think most people will like it. So it's basically like love spell plus that a little bit more of a citrusy grapefruit note. I think this one's going to be very popular. Next is Rosewood Blooms. And oh my gosh, I adore this scent. The notes are rose petals, fig, and vanilla. It smells like sweet old-fashioned rose-scented soap mixed with red currant, and currant is a very slightly tart, fig-like soapy scent with a very slight berry note, although there's no berry notes in this scent. Looking at the notes, I don't smell vanilla at all. Melted, it's a beautiful rose scent with a slight soapy note and a smidgen of a rich, warm, ambery note. It's not a perfumey rose, and it's not even all that sweet. I think it's my favorite scent in this whole collection, and the throw is bold. 5 out of 5, took over the entire house. Next is Sea Salt and, I love that color. Sea Salt and Lotus. Notes are ocean mist and exotic florals. This smells like orange blossom, neroli, and cucumber. It's fresh and odd, like the notes don't belong together, but when it's melted, it's a beachy scent. The orange blossom gives it a copper tone suntan oil note, but there is something a little bitter, metallic, and chemical-like in the background that I don't care for. It's not enough to ruin the scent for me, and you can't really detect it that much when it's melting in the room unless you go right up close to it. I think it would smell better without that note, but it's still a very nice beachy scent, and the throw is bold, 5 out of 5. Next is Splash, which is ocean breeze, lavender, and amber. This is a pleasant, typical, fresh, watery, ocean-type scent that smells a little bit like shower gel. I do detect a bit of the lavender, but it's subtle. It's a nice scent. It's a little bland. The throw is mild, 2.5 out of 5. In fact, this one has the worst throw out of all of them, which is okay because it's kind of a bland, typical scent anyway. Sweet Essence, the notes are cotton candy, melon, and musk. I expected this to smell like pink sugar based on the name and the color, but it's not. It smells like sweet cantaloupe with maybe a hint of grapefruit and possibly a smidgen of a cotton candy note. It's not a pink sugar scent, Looking at the notes, I don't smell musk. It's not a perfumey scent. Melted, it smells like sweet cantaloupe nectar, if there were such a thing. It's very sweet, but with a little sourness of the cantaloupe. It's not a watermelon scent. It definitely is cantaloupe. I don't hate it, but it's not one of my favorites. I'm really not a fan of cantaloupe scents. The throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. And last we have Unicorn Dreams. Love the color, love the scent name. The notes are plum, blossom, and magnolia. This is a lovely jasmine type scent with a tiny bit of a soapy note and a hint of something else I can't put my finger on. Apple, I think. I don't smell plum or really any fruit notes, but I think a smidgen of apple may be way in the background. So I'd say a soapy jasmine and apple. And the throw is medium, 3 out of 5. Next we have 5 of these. I think they're called like an aromatherapy collection or something like that. I don't know if they have essential oils in them. I don't think they do. I really don't know what the purpose is of the different labels, but they smell really good. So first we have Calm, which is number 6. The notes are sandalwood and incense, and this actually comes in candles and room spray and sachets, and the candles do show it like a scent description on them, whereas the wax melts don't. So the description for this scent is calm your soul with this soothing blend of sandalwood and smoky vanilla with hints of earthy amber and patchouli mist, and the notes are sandalwood and incense. This is a strong men's cologne scent, but there's also a harshness in the background that smells a little like rubbing alcohol and something else I can't figure out, like a weird chemical note. Looking at the notes, I guess I do detect a hint of wood, but incense doesn't tell me much. Although, looking at the description, the additional notes are vanilla, amber, and patchouli. So I'm not sure if I really smell those either. When it's melted, that harsh cologne note, it like I said, it is a cologne scent, but that harshness is still there. It just makes it smell like really old perfume, and it kind of gives me a headache. The opposite of what a scent called Calm should be. If it didn't have that harsh note, it would actually be a really nice, rich men's cologne scent. The throw is bold, 5 out of 5. Next we have Cleanse, which is number 3. Oh, and that's that. Cleanse is number 3. The description is, cleanse your spirits with this invigorating blend of eucalyptus and lemongrass, complemented with orange zest and a hint of lavender and vanilla. And the notes are lemongrass and tangelo. This is a great energizing lemongrass scent. It doesn't have that soapy note that regular, like plain lemongrass tends to have. Tangelo is a cross between a grapefruit and tangerine and supposedly has a light floral note. I think I do detect a smidgen of grapefruit, but no floral, although it's a little sweeter than plain lemongrass. It's very nice. After about 3 hours, it started to lose the sweetness and took on a slightly salty burnt note. But it was still nice, even at that point. It just smelled better early on. The throw was bold, 5 out of 5. Next we have Refresh 05, which is, the description is, refresh your senses with this invigorating blend of zesty grapefruit and juicy guava contrasted with sweet blooming rose and peony. And the notes are rose and grapefruit. This is a red currant scent. Red currant is a very slightly tart, fig-like soapy scent with a very slight berry note and only a smidgen of sweetness. It's a very sophisticated note that, when mixed with other scents, it makes those scents smell classy. I also smell the grapefruit, but I don't smell rose at all. It's quite possible the combination of rose and grapefruit is what makes it smell like red currant, so it might not be currant at all. Either way, it's a nice, unusual scent. I adore this scent. It's actually very similar to Goose Creek Candle's Orange Berry Slush, and also smells a little bit like Better Homes and Gardens Redwood Pomegranate from 2014. The throw is bold, 5 out of 5. Really love this one. Next is Relax 04. The description is, relax with this calming blend of mandarin, citrus, and wild mint, layered with subtle creamy notes of cedarwood and vanilla, and the notes shown on the label are mandarin and mint. This smells like lemongrass with that slightly soapy note, but it's also quite sweet, whereas lemongrass itself is not really sweet. And the sweetness smells a little like melon, I think, but I'm also getting a nasal clearing effect, so there's also mint in this one, although it doesn't actually smell minty. Maybe a smidgen of orange as well. When it's melted, the lemongrass note is more subtle, and it smells like sweet melon candy with a little lemon and orange. And I don't smell the mint at all. Looking at the notes, there's the mandarin, which is the orange, and I'm surprised I don't see melon or lemon. It seems like melon is a note in some of the scents in this new collection. This is a very unique scent, and despite that melon note, I really like it. It's very different. And the throw is strong, 4 out of 5. Then we have Uplift, number 2. The description is retreat into a fresh and renewing aroma of crisp lemon and succulent bergamot, followed by the scent of watery jasmine and white lily blossoms. And the notes on the label are bergamot and lemon peel. I smell sweet orange blossom, neroli with a citrusy note, orange maybe, and bergamot, I think, which gives us a little bit of a fresh, slightly soapy cologne note, although it's not a cologne scent. Looking at the scent notes, the lemon is very subtle. It smells more like a smidgen of orange to me. When it's melted, I just smell orange blossom with a little bit of a soapy note. It's pleasant. It's not overly sweet. I really like this scent, and the throw is 3.5 out of 5. Now, these aromatherapy melts, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I did not find 01, and apparently there's also an 07 and an 08 and 7, 8, 9, and 10. I called a couple of Hobby Lobby stores, and as of the date of this review, October 2018, none of them have any products in 01 and no information on it. They don't know the name of the scent. There's no space on their display for it and no plans to order it. But number 7 is called Tranquil, which is ginger root and ylang flower. It's available in candles and air fresheners in one of the stores, but no wax melts. And there's also number 8, which is Rejuvenate, which is verbena and eucalyptus, which I only saw in the room spray. And there's also number 10, Soothe, which is lavender and oakwood. Lavender and oakwood did come out in a regular wax melt, not the aromatherapy collection, in December 2017, and I reviewed it at that time. And there's no information on the number 9. So if I do find any of those other numbers, I will add them to the text version of this review. So, wow, that was a lot of talking. If you want to see a text version of this review, just go to scentedwaxmeltreviews.com, which is linked underneath this video. And feel free to join our Facebook group, which is also linked underneath this video and on our website at scentedwaxmeltreviews.com. We're having a lot of discussions right now about these scents and other brands and scents like Sensationals, Better Homes and Gardens, Hannah's Candle, Goose Creek, Yankee, Sonoma, etc. So feel free to join us, and I hope you enjoy this review, and have a good day.